All right, here are the Mets' moves since we last spoke on Friday. The Mets recall Tyler McGill from Syracuse. The Mets option Eric Orsi to Syracuse. Mets place Kodai Senga on the 15-day IL. Mets activate Ryan Stanek. Mets trade Tyler Stewart to the Nationals for Jesse Winker. Mets option DJ Stewart to Syracuse. Mets activate Jesse Winker. Mets transfer Kodai Senga from the 15-day IL to the 60-day IL. Mets designate Jake Diekman for assignment. Mets recall Matt Gage from Syracuse. All right, there you have it, Andy.
Boy.
The Mets added a bat and a power reliever this weekend. What is next for this ball club?
The last 5 minutes of you is a tough act to follow.
Glad that's over. Okay.
Yeah, you did your heavy lifting for today. All right, Mets trade deadline. Look, earlier in the week, before the Subway Series, we know they were pretty much focused on adding a couple of relievers. They played so well, that search expanded to include the search for a left-handed bat. Obviously, that concluded, with the Winker acquisition. And then on Saturday, in the wake of the Licata incident, the Mets got engaged in the starting pitching market. Secondary to the Licata incident, of course, the Senga and Christian Scott injuries. So they decided to engage in starting pitching. Reporting on that through the weekend, by Sunday evening, the Mets were not optimistic that they were going to land like an impact top of the rotation guy, because the prices, or the prospect prices for these guys, are just so much beyond what the Mets are willing to do and where they are in their competitive window. So that's kind of where it's at right now. They're everywhere, all over the starting pitching market, exploring everything. I would be shocked to my core if they have not talked to the Giants about Blake Snell and done that recently. But having said that, I'm told that the Giants are looking for prospects, good prospects, not just money.
Oh, I thought they want to get rid of that money. They want prospects too?
They want a little bit of both. So right now there hasn't been a lot of traction or any traction with the Mets and Snell. I'm not saying I'm not going to monitor that over the next 24 hours, but right now, what's still coming out of Citi Field, up like from before the show when I checked in, was expecting to add modestly.
And really adding to that Snell part, it's $31 million. It's a 2-year deal. He can opt out. If he pitches well, he's probably going to opt out. But the Giants right now, because of the prices of the starting pitching, they're shopping Snell. He would obviously fit for them too. But you're seeing the top guys, Flaherty. You're seeing Snell, Tyone, even with the Cubs, where you weren't sure if he was available. Now he is going to be available again because of the price tags right now so far that are out there, even on relievers. I mean, Estevez was a rental, and the Phillies gave up 2 pretty good starting pitchers for him. So I think right now you're seeing these prices high. I think it'll probably drop a little bit as we get closer, as Billy knows too. But I think if you're the Mets, you got to feel pessimistic about getting a decent starter at the moment.
I don't like the sound of that. I like adding. I don't like modest adding. They need more. Speaking of starting and relievers, Billy, the Mets clearly need both. Which is harder to acquire at the deadline, a top-end starter or good relievers?
The starting pitching is going to be the bigger lift. You're going to see that the relief pitching market is going to be a little bit thicker, and just based on supply and demand and the conditions of supply and demand, you're going to end up seeing more relievers move than you are starting pitching. And when a starting pitcher becomes available, everybody wants them. I mean, the buyers, no matter how strong their club is, you're always thinking, could this guy start game 2 in the NLCS for me, or the ALCS? Could he start game 3? So you're always going to entertain that. Creating that competition just makes it that much harder of a get.
Yeah, and the way that the landscape is in baseball now, even more so because more teams are in it. And what does every team need primarily? Relievers or starting pitching?